That wasn't said with kindness. I heard the tone.
How'd practice go today, the final practice of spring?
You know, it was fine. It wasn't stellar. It was more just the final practice with everyone, I think, ready for it to be done, knowing that there wasn't going to be a scrimmage today, there wasn't going to be any contact, there was just more preparation for spring and summer in terms of drill work. So I would say anticlimactic. You know, it was just kind of another work day.
Did you learn anything about this team that you didn't know going into spring? Anything kind of stand out?
Not really. I was impressed with the leadership going in, but with 29 seniors, that would be kind of a strength. There's a few younger players that I think maybe their role might be expanded a little bit more than maybe what I thought. Other than that, the biggest question going into the season, I would say, is just Justin Sorensen's health at kicker. You know, but man, there's not many other questions based on the reports of the number of guys that we're going to have that will be back and healthy, and the depth we have at the positions. And I think the stage is set to have a good team. But I felt that before spring.
Offensive line a concern at all because just you missed had some guys out?
If you were to say through the spring, yeah, huge concern. If you look at then who's supposed to be back for the fall, there's 8 other players coming back that are, most of them are more experienced or at a higher caliber than those that practiced all spring. So when you add 8 more, that would be, and I'm not sure I'd know even what to do. It would be so much fun in terms of what we could accomplish at practice.
Alumni Day today had a lot of the former players here. What was that like?
It's always fun to have them come back. There was kind of a double obligation, so Coach Reynolds spoke to the alumni today. Normally I do that. I was speaking to another group on campus, and so I haven't had as much interaction yet. There's a dinner going on right now, but what I did get reports of last night, the former secondary all met with Coach Felt. They had a nice gathering, as well as all the former offensive linemen with Coach French. And that was kind of the vision, is that once they came back, then they would start kind of, having their own special, either by year, by class, or by position. And so that's starting to take root, which is fun. And I just appreciate those wanting to come back to see what we're doing and show their support. And what's happening is they all bring family members now. It started with just the players, well, now it's wives, kids, grandkids, and that's even more fun.
What specific things have you told your players to work on, especially before we come back in the fall?
Yeah, man, I would love them to be in absolutely phenomenal condition. We have a very tough conditioning test that they'll be preparing for, and so they know that's coming. But really, we spent the last 4 practices, I think it was 4 practices, training our players to run the player-run practices for the spring and summer with the expectation of, could that look like a practice where the coaches were out there but they're not out there? And so we tried to help get that across and work on teaching and helping them understand what drill work to do and how to do it and how to express that. Because if that happened, that's 3.5 to almost 4 months worth of additional leadership and practice and chemistry that can be developed when we're not able to be with our team.
Did you feel like Riley progressed this spring, especially in the accuracy department with all the reps he got?
Yeah, Riley's, the leadership that he has is the first thing I would say. Accuracy I'm very comfortable with. The thing that we couldn't work as much as we needed to, wanted to, or were able to was the run game. And that was simply by lack of offensive linemen. So I'm really comfortable with Riley's play. Riley is best when you can run the football and then he can run and play action and then move out of the pocket, etc. So we were able to really focus on more of a single dimension of throwing and defending the pass, which will eventually help us versus some of the teams we play. We'll have to do some catch-up versus running the football and run defense in fall camp.
Juice dealt with some adversity last fall. Can you kind of talk about how he's overcome that and where he is now?
I think he's overcoming, and I think he has kind of reestablished himself as a quality football player in our program and someone that can be relied on. And so the combination of possibly having he and Mike Elisa in the backfield at the same time, that could be fun. Yona Pritchard also gives us another unique element, kind of Manasseh Tonga-like. So those 3 I was impressed with through the spring practice.
What did you like from the defense during the spring, and what do you want to see from them?
I like that they're hard to score on, and I like that they're willing. and I like that they're confident, and I like that they're physical, but I expect them to be in phenomenal shape, not only physically but mentally, and getting ready for how they're going to be trained. And I have high expectations for them, and so getting that message across is what I think I'd like to have them acknowledge.
Okay.